Parenting Paused here. Leslie Potter for another week of examining our internal experience, exploring our beliefs, our feelings, our behavior. This can be challenging work because it's so much easier, we think, to control the external. We were kind of trained that way. So remember, anything that we judge outside, we have it inside. And how we treat our children when we judge a certain behavior is how we're going to treat ourselves inside. So I decided to do the inside work because I found that if I judged a behavior in my daughter and I got her to change, I could push her, pull her, force her, scare her into changing. Well, next thing I knew, there was just another behavior that drove me insane. It just kept moving around. I just couldn't catch that thing, right? I kept thinking, I am going to get this. I'm going to get her to be the kid I need her to be so that I am okay inside. Now, if you ever do that, take heart. Well, I think we all do, because it's really disturbing inside often to see how much judgment we have, how we're often looking outside for the negative. I think they say we've got a negative bias in our brain, and supposedly that comes from early history of our amygdala always being looking for the danger so it could attend to itself, so it could take care of itself, which makes lots of sense prehistorically or way back or wherever it is they say it started. So that little amygdala, they call it the little pea brain. It's at the back of your, I think it's your brain stem. I don't know tons about it, but I know enough to know when I'm in mine. It is when I feel like my daughter's behavior is dangerous, right? I perceive it, and my little brain actually perceives it. And fortunately, now I have this big, beautiful frontal brain, which they call the prefrontal cortex, those big names, as an adult that I can really call on, that I don't have to always believe my amygdala. But when we're in our amygdala, often we don't have a lot of consciousness. If you ever just reacted to something and later you're going, oh my God, what happened? Why did I act that way? So I found I had to really practice. I had to truly start to recognize and pause. And I've trained myself over time, and I can still get into my amygdala, but I recognize when it happens. I feel a lot of heat rising up. I have all kinds of stories of disasters. I project into the future of my daughter's going to be this, she's going to be that. If she doesn't get this, if she doesn't, which with the kid, if she didn't do her homework, or all these things. Whew, and I had all these judgments because I felt that life was out to get me. And then that meant that my daughter was out to get me. It was so painful. So I spent most of my time out there trying to finagle and control it and get her to be who I needed her to be, and threw all my judgments on her and tried my hardest instead of turning and going, oh God, if I'm judging her, if I think she's lazy, that's gotta mean that somewhere inside I think I'm lazy. And then I started seeing how I treat myself. When I spend a little time watching my Netflix, I start beating myself up and saying I'm lazy and I should be working, I should be productive. So I noticed all the things that I saw outside in my daughter, I was judging them inside of myself. So once I was able to turn back in, start offering kindness, then as an adult, I had more capacity to make choices toward things that were of high value for me, to spend my time on the things that meant the most. And that was really empowering. It still is empowering, and you can too. So let's keep practicing doing that in our parenting. What are the things that matter the most? What mattered the most for me was that my daughter felt love for who she is, not for who I wanted her to be. Because I knew if I could fill her bucket with love, then she could be the person that she wanted to be, that she could really learn who she was. As I spoke last week, she could become conscious of how she was, who she was. She could learn what got her what and what didn't get her things, and how she wanted to be, how she felt when she acted certain ways. Whew, what a powerful, powerful thing. And yet it all happened from my internal experience of going in, checking on myself. Anything that you judge outside, remember you judge inside. Just take that little concept with you this week and notice anything that you're looking at your child and thinking you need to get them to change or you need to fix them. Turn it back in and ask yourself, where are you doing that to yourself? Where are you self-aggressing on who you are? And see if it's possible to love yourself for who you are. Start there. Just love yourself for who you are. Then you can start asking, there may be some places where I want to shift or change or try different things, but not out of hating yourself, not out of feeling you're not good enough. Really come down into that base. Love yourself for who you are. Have a great week this week. Jump on over to purejoyparenting.com and check out all my offerings that are happening at the moment. And I look forward to seeing you, getting to know you, and hanging out more. Thank you for listening to this episode of Parenting Paused. If you enjoyed the episode, do me a favor and share it with your mama friends. You can also leave a review wherever you listen, which will support getting the Purejoy message out. Come on over to the Purejoy Parenting Practice Facebook page or join me on Instagram to hear more. And don't forget to download your free copy of the Safe Seat course on the Purejoy website. And while there, check out the offerings page to go deeper in the Purejoy work.